Exercise 5-28 is a very cut and dry exercise, but if you're not paying attention to what you're doing, it can be one of the most difficult exercises to do. There's going to be some layout work that's going to be required to get everything the way that it's supposed to be. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to draw a line that represents the bottom of my front view, which is going to be 100. That's going to go up 7. And now I've got a 22-degree angle that this thing is actually working from. Now, rather than trying to figure out what the 22-degree angle is, I can come over here and I can tab into a 22 and then tab back. Now, this is going to be drawing my line the wrong way, but for all intents and purposes, I'm not bothered by it drawing it the wrong way. This is a way that we can use the software to our advantage. I know that this side's going to go up 60, but now I can just go ahead and extend this all the way to that point and then trim out the front portion of that, and I'm left with what that front piece is actually going to look like. Now I can continue to draw my lines. This piece right here, instead of going line over top of line, I'm just going to come up 31. After I come up 31, I can copy my angled line right to here. What that's going to do is that's going to give me the place where the top piece is going to intersect with that piece, and then I can trim it out. So we can see that I almost completely have the top view done. I am now going to draw the first circle right up here at the corner point where it's dimensioned from, and it's going to have a diameter of 14, and now it needs to move over 25 and down 12. The next one would be basically dimensioned from a corner right here that's not technically there and it has the same diameter, but now I can go ahead and move that, and this one is going to be going back 30 and down 27. So that places that hole where it's supposed to be. That's the completed front view. There are no hidden lines in the front view for this particular exercise. I can now begin to work on the top view. So the top view, for all intents and purposes, is going to look just like a rectangle that is going to be 100 by 30. And there's going to be a line that cuts this thing directly in the middle. This edge right here needs to be projected, and that is all the visible edges in my top view. I can switch over to my hidden line layer, and I can now project the quadrants up. And I'm hoping this blue shows up well. In all the previous exercises, I've turned my hidden line layer to yellow, but I'm thinking that maybe the blue will also show up in the recording if you're watching it full screen on a computer. Okay, so there is my completed top view. My right side view is not going to be that much more difficult. It's going to be 30 by 60, and I put that on the wrong layer, so I want to change that to the model layer. And now I've got a line that's going to be projected. Let me go ahead and switch back to model, that way I can not have to go back and change all my lines. I've got a line that's going to be projected right across here, to here, and that's going to go basically to the midpoint and then straight up. It's going to be broken once right at this location. So here we can see the L shape, then we see that angled piece. There is another point projected from right here, which is going to go straight across to here, where everything on the back side is going to be trimmed out. I can switch back to my hidden line layer, and now I can project all of my quadrant points across from my hidden lines for my circles. Now, some of these may get a little bit complex once you get to the two circles right here that are very, very close to each other. You want to make sure that you're picking the correct locations, or else your lines are going to be off a little bit. But that is the top, front, and right side views of exercise 5-28. It looks a lot more complicated than it is. If you use the tool to your advantage, then it's going to make your life a whole lot easier. Again, from this point, make sure you center up the drawing, put all your dimensions on, and then turn it in.